Hey guys, welcome back to the DAHKTUBE. And before we get started, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Now, this video is particularly geared towards the students. Whether you are in high school, university, wherever, we are all going through whatever we're going through because of this whole Panda Express. Like the COVID pandemic, this pandemonium, the pantomime, whatever you want to call it. Yes, it has taken a toll on us mentally, physically, however edalically you want to describe it. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to ace your exams, whether it be your end of year exams, CAPE, CXC, GCE, SAT, whatever you're doing. Some quick, just a few steps or a few things that you can do to ace your exams. Ensure that you're eating well, because you are what you eat. Ensure that your mind is clear. Guys, I know it is very difficult in this time, but you have to try and get your head in the game. Why? Whatever you do now is going to be crucial to your future. So yes, we are in a pandemic and they need to understand that we're going through a lot. Yeah, everybody's going through a lot, but is who has the more discipline, who has the more focus, they'll be the one that will be successful, right? So guys, in order to succeed or in order to be successful in your exams, one, aside from studying or setting your timetables to study, you can't just be reading and expecting everything to stick. There's so much going on in your mind. Your mind is already clouded. Your mind is already going through a lot, right? So what you can do is you can practice your past papers. Why I say to practice your past papers? Examiners are very lazy, especially since your exams are based on a particular set of topics, meaning a syllabus. There's only so many ways that you can be tested on certain questions or certain topics. Now, when you go through past papers, you might not see in your exams, you might not see the exact question coming back, but you'll always see something that models that exact paper coming back. For example, if you look at the CXC math exam, the first question on a CXC math exam is always a fractions question. It doesn't matter how the fraction is all. So once you know how to do fractions, you will know how to do the first question on the paper. So what I'm saying is to say to you, you know the structure of the exams. Like, you know this. Like, if you look on past papers, you can see the structure of exams. The structure has not changed. So once you know the structure of the exams, all you need to do is practice each type of the questions that are on your paper, whether it is Spanish, French, English, economics, accounts, chemistry, physics, it doesn't matter. Look at the structure of the exam. The structure has not changed. So if you see a fractions question as number one, practice a few fractions question until you are able to do it in your sleep, or until you feel comfortable enough to say, okay, once I get in the exam, I know how to do fractions. Guys, even if your teacher has not taught you everything that is in the syllabus or whatever subject it is, you can't go to CXC and say, oh, write on the paper, my teacher did not teach me this. CXC does not care. Whoever is marking a paper, whether CXC, CAPE, whether the teacher does not, the examiner does not care, right? So you have to ensure, the onus is on you to ensure that you learn what you need to learn in order to ace your exams. Regardless of if your teacher taught you, you will still be you will still be examined. You'll still be examined on whatever topics are in the syllabus or whatever you needed to cover for the year, right? So you can't say, oh, the teacher did not. Ensure that for yourself, you know what is on the syllabus, you know what is required of you, because you can't say, let's say somebody is interviewing you. Oh, I didn't do so well on my chemistry exam because the teacher did not teach. No one cares. Sadly, no one cares. And then sometimes, let's say you're in third form. By the time you're in third form and third form is ending, you will hear a teacher say, oh, your teacher in fourth form will teach you this. Then when you get to fourth form, you hear, oh, you should have learned this in third form. Excuse me? What? You know what I'm saying? So remember, your learning is your responsibility. It is up to you to get you to where you want to be. So If you want to be successful in life, you have to be disciplined and focused. So get the syllabus, look at the topics that you have, practice topics by topic by topic. So if you mastered fractions, if you know you've mastered fractions, go to decimals. The next question on a maths paper, decimals. Ensure you know how to multiply, add, divide, subtract decimals. Then the next question would probably be like wages and salaries, or like some consumer arithmetic type questions. So that's how you look at the structure of an exam and break it down into pieces and study according to the pieces, because the structure is not going to change. So once you know the foundation of what you're doing, you can't go wrong. Then you know that by the time you reach around at the back of the exam, you know that you have like construction, you have matrices, you have vectors, you have trigonometry. So guys, what you need to do, or what you need to ensure, is that go through the past paper questions, group up with your friends, or group up with persons who you think are smarter than you, who can help you along the way. It makes no sense to group up with persons who are below you, because all they're going to do is drag you down. I'm sorry, but it's the truth, right? You have to set reasonable or sensible timetables, because you can't just say, oh, I'm going to study math 4 hours straight today, or practice math 4 hours straight. That's not realistic. When I was growing up, I would study if I studied for 10 minutes straight, I studied a lot. I would study for 10 minutes and then take 3-hour breaks. So you have to know how you work, know how you operate, and what methods work best for you. So if it is that you're going to be writing on cue cards, or you're going to be rewriting in another new book, a new notebook, you're going to be rewriting your notes, summarizing, highlighting, documenting, videoing yourself speaking, like whatever works for you, you need to figure that out, and figure that out quickly. Yes, because what I wish I had done in college, I wish I had practiced past papers. Like I said, examiners are very lazy, right? After the exams, I would realize that questions that were in past paper questions were like the exact questions were re-given to us to do, but I still never know how to do them. Why? Because I was afraid to practice past papers, because I was afraid that it would demotivate me, that because I didn't know the answers or know how to answer the questions in the past paper, I will not be able to know how to answer the questions in the exams whenever I got it. So I psyched myself out. Yeah, so take it from me. I've been here, I've been through the system, I know the struggles of life, you know. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, oh, you know, everything will be well. It will not be well unless you practice. Practice makes perfect. So if you practice foolishness, you will perfect foolishness. You know what I'm saying? And if you practice in groups, I was not able to study in groups because I was easily distracted. So I always studied by myself. But for the most part, it is always good to study in groups. Why? More persons allow for more thought processes, and the more you are able to learn, because we usually learn through student-centered learning rather than the teacher-centered learning. So we usually learn better from our peers. So you guys have access to Zoom, Google Meets. So you basically have no excuse not to want to socialize or want to study in groups. So get about 5 of your friends. You can display your screen. One person will work and the others will tell them what to write, or you share the screen and everybody. So there's actually no reason for you guys not to do well. Also, you have all this information disposable to you right at your fingertips. Everybody have internet. Everybody know how to use Google. You guys were born in a technological age where information is just in your face. So you won't just have like one source of information. You can type in, let's say, how to do matrices, and you'll see different persons giving you different perspectives on how to do it. Whether you want, because remember, different students have different learning styles. So one might be a video, one might want to watch a video, one might want to look at the words, you know. So it all depends on learning how you learn and how best you are able to learn. So yeah, ensure you practice past papers. Practice. That's basically all I can say to you now. you know. Also, if you're in an exam and you can't answer the first question, just pack up and go. Because my math teacher always said to me, if you can't answer the first question, go home. Why? Because the questions are set in such a way that the first question is always the easiest, and as the paper gradually goes on, the questions get more difficult. So if you can't answer the first question, you can't answer the question. A joke. Stay in the exam, go through the struggle, endure, and persist. If you feel like you completed the exam, let's say the exam is an hour and you finish in 30 minutes. Ooh, I'm bright. No, you're not finishing now. Go and review what you did. Sometimes you might have made an error, whether you consciously or unconsciously, you might have made an error. Go and review. Also, persons who are doing like written paper questions, a key thing to note. Let's say you work a question, right? And you want to mark it out. Don't mark it out. Do not, I repeat, do not mark out whatever working you had. Leave it there. Once both workings is on the paper, like once all the working is on the paper, once the right answer is on the paper, you will get the mark. But if you mark it out, you mark out any opportunity you had in getting or obtaining a grade. Leave the working on the paper. Okay, so I never tell you no. That would have probably been the difference between a grade 1 and a grade 2, or a fail and a pass, a grade 3 and a grade 4. Leave the answer on the paper. You might think it's foolishness, but sometimes they are not. Remember, we don't mark for answers. Because let's say a question is worth 10 marks. If you just put the answer on the paper, you might get 1 mark or you might not get any at all. Why? We don't know how you obtained that answer, because you probably looked over on somebody's paper and saw that the answer was 300 and you just wrote the 300. How exactly so we mark for thought process, or we mark for a procedure. So let's say you were going well and then your answer is wrong. You will get 9 out of 10. Because what? We realize that, oh, you actually know what you're doing. And then sometimes you make an error like midway, but it's like you carry the error number. So we call it error brought forward. So it's like, okay, she made a little mishap or he made a little mishap and he calculated something a bit off, but he still put it in the correct formatting and how to do it. So you'll obtain the marks. Guys, you guys are making this thing harder than it needs to be. Yeah? So remember, leave the answer up on paper. Yes, I'm never warning. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for staying tuned, and I hope you ace your exams. Don't let the burdens of life hold you down. Don't be stressed. Don't think about it too hard. Just practice well and finish well. I'll see you guys next time on the DAHKTUBE.